and welcome to Hashtag Toe to Toe. My name is Leanne Johnson-Arnison and I am joined as always by Spencer Fearon and this week former three-weight world champion Ricky Burns. Ricky, thank you for coming in. We've got lots of tweets to get through, but first things first, the press tour for Mayweather McGregor started yesterday. Lots of hype surrounding this fight. What are your thoughts?
Joe, I think it's going to be a good and it's going to be an entertaining night. Joe, fair play to the two of them for doing this, but for me there is only one outcome. I don't see how Conor McGregor is going to lay one glove on Floyd Mayweather in a boxing ring.
Will you be watching the fight?
I will be watching, yeah.
What did you think, Spencer?
I thought it was excellent. I thought both guys verbally abused each other pretty well. Some of the industrial language that was used was not okay for me. You know what I mean? I'm a family man with children, but what do you expect? This is going to be really good. This is good for sport in general because it's getting eyeballs. It's getting eyeballs for the UFC. It's getting eyeballs for boxing. So I don't think nobody should criticise. This is excellent. And you know what? Looking at the size difference when they were head to head, Conor McGregor's bigger than what I expect. I didn't think he was that big. He's a he's a big unit. And you have to remember, if you were to go and spar with a physically strong rugby player, and he was a little bit bigger than you, regardless of all your three-weight world champion, you would have a little bit of trouble for a round before you suss him out. So all I'm interested in is the first 3 minutes.
Who do we think got the upper hand after yesterday? Because obviously yesterday was the first of four, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, it's like there was times where online people were saying that Conor McGregor got the bit. I don't think he did, but I thought Mayweather, when Mayweather warmed into it, he was very good. I thought I would have called that a draw.
How can you see the fight going, Ricky?
Like I said there, I just don't see how, obviously, I think it would have been more entertaining if it was in the octagon or in a cage. I just don't see how McGregor...
Wait, did you see when Floyd said, we could do it in the octagon? I'm saying, come on, Floyd, I love you, Floyd, but please, shut up, man.
That would have been a lot more entertaining, I think, because I just don't see him being able to lay a glove on Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, so we'll get through the tweets. We've got the first tweet from Steve Parsons, @Steve Parsons. Which fight appeals most to you, Josh Taylor, Anthony Crolla or someone else? Ricky, you can start us off.
Do you know, I've always said that I'm not one for calling out names or anything like that. I'll always just leave
Well, you've got three to pick from, haven't you?
I always like to just leave it up to my team. Obviously,
you must have a favourite.
The biggest fight out there, out of all the names there, has got to be Anthony Crolla, obviously former world champion as well. Both of us are in the same situation and now looking to get back into title contention. I know the fight has been mentioned, so we'll just need to wait and see. But obviously Josh Taylor, great fight at the weekend there, boxed well. I know that they're keen for a fight, but...
Are you keen for a fight?
Sorry?
Are you keen for the fight, Josh Taylor?
So I've always said I'm more than prepared to fight him there. Like I said when they were talking after it, if they want to make a serious offer, they've got Eddie's phone number. But out of the ones, I'd definitely say Anthony Crolla is the biggest fight.
Norman Barton @NC Barton. Until Saturday, the style and awkwardness of O'Hara Davies had appeared an advantage. Does he need to change, box more orthodox to progress, Spencer?
He does. And we've got to be real. O'Hara, he quit on the weekend. And that hurt me because I've known him from a kid. But Josh Taylor looked very, very special. What O'Hara's going to have to do, you cannot say you're going to go back to the drawing board. You can't go back and do the same things thinking that you're going to get different results. There's something in there that you've got to change. I was worried when you went to the press conference and you wasn't the loud, gregarious, sometimes obnoxious O'Hara Davies. You were trying to play it down and trying to be like, well, it's a business and that. I think you're thinking too much. You should just be yourself. And if it is that, I know O'Hara personally is not that guy. He's not that loud, in-your-face, rude person. But as soon as you put a camera on him, he is. So I'm saying it's like Ricky Burns is being Ricky Burns, but you've got the role as Ian Bill in EastEnders, but you want to play Ricky Burns in EastEnders. It won't work. You've got to be that character. Be the character that you built yourself up to be, this kind of WWE kind of character. Live that character. As soon as he changed that, I had my reservations, and it was sad to see that you quit in a fight that a lot of people thought that you could win, but Josh Taylor's up there. O'Hara can still be up there. He's just got to change a couple fine tweaks and change his mentality.
You obviously train alongside him. What do you agree that he changes his character when the cameras are around?
Obviously, O'Hara in the gym is totally different for the way he comes across, obviously in social media and obviously all the press stuff and that he does. In the gym, he's a quiet guy, just likes to go on with his training. I don't think that was the O'Hara that we were seeing in the gym, obviously sparring and stuff like that. That was the O'Hara we saw in the gym. But you know, fair play to Josh Taylor, he boxed well. He's got a big future ahead of him, some cracking fights out there for him.
How would you have boxed Josh Taylor if you was against Josh Taylor on Saturday?
Well, again, styles make fights. Who knows what's happened?
But how would you have boxed him? What would you have done differently to what O'Hara did?
I think for the second round onwards, you could see that O'Hara, he was loading up with every shot. He was trying to put power in them. When he was missing wildly, and against Josh Taylor, technically very, very good. You can't do that because you could see Josh was just waiting for him to obviously swing because he knew what was coming and he was making him pay. And O'Hara, it made it a hard night's work for O'Hara.
Moving on, we've got Jez Batchelor at Batchelor. Jez, would you like to see a WBSS format for all weight divisions? Would be interesting to see which boxers were brave enough to do it. Is that something that you would have done?
I know, Joe, when this was all mentioned, when they were talking about they weren't sure what weights to do, that was I would say to Tony, and we spoke about it, I was like, if they'd done one at light welterweight, I would have loved the opportunity to do that. Especially, obviously, you get all the big names in there. You're guaranteed all these big fights. No, I think it's great for boxing.
Spencer, what do you think?
I think anything where you're going to pit the best or the supposedly best guys in the division against each other has to be a good thing. Do you know what I mean? We remember when we had the Super Six, how fantastic that was for boxing. This is going to be excellent for boxing because you are going to get competitive matches. You're not going to get guys saying, well, I'm going to fight my #1 contender, or I'm going to make a voluntary against some guy that we've never heard of and we're going to try and sell it. No, this is a tournament, and not only that, but financially, every man that's going in there is going to get greatly rewarded. It's a shame there's not one at light welter, and I know you can still do lightweight. So if they've done one at lightweight, maybe we could see Ricky Burns in the lightweight one. We don't know.
Might need to chop a leg off for that.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
Steve Parsons at
You can hop in the ring. Sorry.
After being messed about so much, do you think Callum Smith made the right decision entering the World Boxing Super Series?
1,000,000%. I think if you win your first fight, you get $1 million. You get $1 million, $1 million. Come on. Do you know what I mean?
No-brainer? Was it a no-brainer?
It's a no-brainer.
100%. He's done the right thing. Not only is he going to make some money in doing it, but again, look at the names in there, the fights that he's potentially can go on to do, and you've got to pick Callum Smith as a favourite in there as well.
Do you think he's got good chance against Groves?
Joe, like I said, that'd be a good fight. George Groves get the experience, but I really rate Callum Smith. So again.
Corey at Corey McLaren, do you think Indongo has a good chance of beating Terence Crawford?
So I think for maybe the first few rounds he's going to cause Crawford some problems, but I think once Crawford susses him out, I can see Crawford going on to win a wide points victory, or maybe even forcing the late stoppage. Indongo is very good at what he does, but Crawford he's a great fighter and technically very, very good. I can see him figuring them out.
Spencer?
It's a brilliant matchup. Whoever wins this fight will become the unified champion. And when we mean you're going across the whole board by having every available title, something that's never been done at the 140-pound division. So I'm saying great fight because of Indongo has shocked people. I didn't think he was going to beat you. I'm being real. I didn't think he was going to beat you, but he was a lot more awkward.
He was a lot better than we thought he was going to be.
But the thing with Terence Crawford, I rank Terence Crawford as #2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world after Andre Ward, and I believe that he's very good at working out guys, and I think he'll work out Indongo, and he'll work him out because sometimes it takes a little time. We saw that in the Gamboa fight, but when he starts to work you out, then that's it for you, and he sets traps. And I think he's a lot more educated a fighter than Indongo, so I think he will beat Indongo comprehensively on points after sussing him out after 2 or 3 rounds.
Stuart Fraser has asked, you have fought plenty of good punches over the years and your chin has always held out. Who hits the hardest?
I have fought a few big punchers. I'd say that there's been a few, but I'd have to say the worst would have been Kirill Relic. After that fight, that is the first time when I went back up to the changing room that I've honestly just felt as if I've been hit with a bus. Usually after fights it takes maybe about 2 or 3 days for the soreness to kick in. But for the first round when he was catching me, you could feel every punch and the body shot. Some of the body shots he caught me with as well were really, really bad. So I'd say he was the biggest puncher.
Paddy Garcia at Paddy Garcia. Hardest training run ever, Sykeside to Kernhill.
The Sykeside to Kernhill, that's a run at my bit that I do when I'm back home.
What's the difference between the two?
It's just that for my bit to the area he's talking about, it's just that the hills that you need to do, they're really, really bad. But I'd say the worst run ever has got to be the stair sprints at Leon C that we do down here. I think if you ask any of the guys in the gym, they'll tell you the same. No matter how fit you are, it's not really a fitness thing, but it's an
endurance thing.
For conditioning, it just kills your legs. It is the worst. It is the worst.
Conor Benn was on last week saying how much he hated going out on the early morning runs and everything like that.
Joe, I don't mind. We do some hard sessions. Obviously the triangle, everybody always asks about that. We do a lot of track work as well, but the worst session out of everything we do is definitely the stair sprints.
Okay, well, my thanks to Ricky and Spencer. Tune in next week for more #ToeToToe or check out iTunes for the podcast.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live on all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.